All right, we're going to try this. You don't know how many times I've already done it, but we're going to try it again. I am telling you now, your slides do not match my slides. I changed the numbers. I changed the examples. We're not going as in depth. We're not finding to the nearest tenth. We're not finding to the nearest hundredth. We're just doing the basics, because if we're being honest, if we're approximating, this is as far as we're approximating to. Okay, so here's our practice. I am going to pause, write down all of the perfect squares. Why? Because I highly suggest that as you do anything, having the list of the perfect squares is a habit to be in. We get ready to do a state test or chapter 1 test, get out your scratch paper and write down the list of perfect squares. It's a good habit to get into practice, just writing down that list. So I'm going to pause, write down that list, and then it's going to appear like magic. Poof, and they appear. All right, so we want these lists of perfect squares because that's what's going to help us answer our questions. So example 1, what two whole numbers does the square root of 50 fall between? So what I'm going to look is I'm going to look at this column that has the perfect squares, 1, 4, 9, 16, etc. And I'm going to see which, where 50 falls between. And so 50 fits between 49 and 64, right? 50 is going to fit in there. So what I know is the square root of 49, square root of 50, square root of 64. 50 fits right between those two perfect squares, which means my two whole numbers is square root of 49 is 7, and the square root of 64 is 8. So we have 7 and 8, and those are the two whole numbers that square root of 50 falls between. And they're always going to be consecutive, which just means right next to each other. So it's never going to be like 6 and 9. No, that there's too much gap between there. They're always going to be the low and the high, but they're going to be right next to each other. So like 6 and 7, 7 and 8, 8 and 9, but not 6 to 9. We're not doing any of that. Okay. Next example. Approximate square root of 30 to the nearest whole number. So again, start by looking at your perfect squares and figure out where 30 fits. 30 fits right here, right? So I know that we are between the square root of 25 and the square root of 36. And then 30 is somewhere in between there. And you're like, okay, but it's asking, went a little too far. Square root of 25 is 5, square root of 36, 6. And you're like, okay, but it's not asking what two whole numbers it falls between. It's asking which one do I round to. So this is how we figure out which one we round to. We want to figure out which one we're closer to. So to do that, we're going to take our number inside our square root and subtract the small number. And then we're going to take the big number minus our number in the square root. And so 30 minus 25 is 5. 36 minus 30 is 6. So what that means is if I were to squeeze square root of 30 in here, from here to here, there are 5, and from here to here, there's a difference of 6. We want the one it's closest to. Closest to would be smallest number. That means we are at approximately 5. And that would be our whole number we round to. And that's all that we're doing. So we're going to do one more, but we're not going to do it to the 10th. We're just going to do whole number again. I just forgot to fix that. Again, I know that on your slides, all of these are wrong, but FYI, that's what we're working with. All right, square root of 7. If you need to, you go back to this list, and you know that 7 fits between 4 and 9. So I have the square root of 4. I'm going to go ahead and put my square root of 7 in between and my square root of 9. 4 is 2, 9 is 3. So that's basically just the first example. What are the two whole numbers we're between? And then to round to the nearest whole number, I just got to figure out which one has the smallest distance. So 7, I'm doing 7 minus 4 and 9 minus 7, although these can be done most likely in your head. So this is 3, and over here this is 2. And so since this is the smaller side, right, I'm going to round up. And so the square root of 7 is approximately 3. And that's our final answer. That's all I'm asking you to do. That's, to my knowledge, all the state is asking you to do on the non-calculator portion. So that's all we'll practice. Until next time, stay classy.